Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Bachelor Nation News fans. The Bachelor alums Ellis and Juliana Pasquarosa have been heavily criticized for their atypical love story, but the pair are only fanning the flames. Grant and Juliana found their spark in the dating competition, with their chemistry noticeable on their first date. While Juliana was one of the last contestants to receive her one-on-one, the season's ultimate winner was always sure of her connection with Grant. Her convictions served her well as Grant proposed to her in the last hour of The Bachelor Season 29. Grant struggled with indecision when faced with his final choice, marrying either Lydia or Juliana. The lead seemed to harbor intense feelings for both parties as he confessed his love for Lydia to her and her family. Despite this fact, he agonized over the proposal and ultimately chose Juliana. This revelation took the internet by storm. He and Juliana have faced backlash, but rather than ignoring the hate, they've been confronting the issue. They should let the controversy blow over and enjoy their engagement. All that matters right now is their happiness. Juliana talked about Lydia's comments. Lydia was understandably taken aback when Grant eliminated her on the proposal altar. In the weeks leading up to this decision, Grant assuaged her concerns and promised his devotion. According to The Star, their night before the proposal went so well that Lydia exclaimed, "Oh my gosh, we're getting engaged tomorrow." And rather than expressing some uncertainty, Grant agreed and professed his love. Lydia was understandably furious at Grant, but when she fired off biting remarks, Juliana was caught in the crossfire. Juliana was not overjoyed to hear her name brought up in conversation during Lydia's rejection. Lydia implied that Juliana should second-guess Grant's loyalty and love by stating, "I would have a lot of questions if I were her, from the things that you've said for me." While this wasn't a direct shot at Juliana, the remark invalidated Juliana and Grant's connection. Lydia's next comment, during the live portion, was indistinguishably pointed. "I know I deserve someone who knows, without a shadow of a doubt, that they're going to choose me." While Lydia's frustrations are valid, this remark seems like an attack on Grant and his new relationship. Juliana talked on the Vile Files podcast about her interpretation of the final episode, claiming that she and Lydia maintained a strong friendship, and Lydia's comments took her by surprise. When asked if Lydia's comments struck her as mean girl energy, Juliana responded, "Definitely." Juliana expressed her disappointment with Lydia amid the never-ending controversy. Grant posted about the haters. Both Grant and Juliana are struggling to fully disregard the public backlash. Grant took to his TikTok, addressing the backlash. While his intentions may have been earnest, by broaching the topic, he's opening up more discussions regarding the final decision and who's in the right. In the video, Grant poses in the car with an overlaid caption reading, "When Batch Nation is everyone trying to get clout by taking shots, but you're just a guy who's happy he found love and happy his dad is sober." Grant undoubtedly hoped for a supportive response, but the poorly timed and somewhat tone-deaf caption set off even more fans. Many still commiserate with Lydia's perspective, and the comments reflect this stance. One user, @AlyssALauren, writes, "Having empathy for Lydia, since you blindsided her, does not equal hate towards you and Juliana." The Bachelor fans may need some time to process the controversial final before outwardly supporting Grant and Juliana. The circumstances reflect badly on Grant, and he will need to illustrate some sort of growth rather than simply claiming accountability. Juliana commented on this post, "We stay in our lane, baby." Her response invited 40 more replies. While many people are still supportive, many criticized Grant even further. The controversy won't last forever, but Juliana and Grant should stop giving critics more reason to express their disdain. Grant and Juliana should let the controversy blow over. Although Lydia's comments were arguably petty and unnecessary, Juliana may be better off simply ignoring the hate. Lydia was clearly hurt and resentful. She didn't need to bring Juliana into the discussion when the focus was Grant's accountability. The unfortunate truth is that when somebody makes negative comments regarding your character, they are often looking for a reaction. The best way to shut down the drama is by blocking it out. Grant's post, while wholesome in nature, also invited more criticism. Juliana and Grant are happy with their relationship. That's all that should matter. While the controversy is undoubtedly bothersome and somewhat unfair, Grant and Juliana are not abating the hate by responding. If the Bachelor alumni keep interacting with disgruntled fans, they'll just prolong this difficult period. Grant and Juliana may want to keep their heads down for some time. Let's be real, love might be blind, but on The Bachelor, it's also extremely online. When Bachelor lead Grant Ellis got down on one knee and proposed to Juliana Pasquarosa during Season 29's dramatic finale, fans weren't just watching a love story unfold, they were watching a PR campaign in real time. And ever since the credits rolled, people can't help but wonder, are Grant and Juliana truly in love, or are they in love with being loved? In this exclusive deep dive, we explore the rumors, Reddit theories, cryptic TikToks, podcast comments, and real-time post-season moves that have fans whispering one question louder than ever. Are Grant and Juliana way too worried about what the public thinks of them? From fairy tale to filters, their picture-perfect romance. Let's rewind to the night of the final. Grant Ellis, 31, former college quarterback turned tech entrepreneur, stands on a Maldives beach, the waves crashing dramatically behind him as he tells Juliana, 28, that she's his forever. Viewers swoon. Juliana cries. Grant proposes. Fireworks go off. America eats it up. But within 24 hours, that magic turned suspicious. Fans noticed how choreographed everything looked post-show. From matching Instagram captions to immediately scheduled podcast appearances and TikToks with subtle sponsorship tags, the couple wasted no time in shaping their narrative. It's like they were more worried about the algorithm than the relationship. One fan tweeted, "Grant proposed and then immediately opened CapCut." And from that moment on, the scrutiny only deepened. Post-final pair blitz. Too smooth? The Bachelor franchise is no stranger to post-final media circuits, but Grant and Juliana's felt unusually aggressive. Juliana appeared on Chicks in the Villa the morning after the finale dropped, defending their love. Grant went on Off the Vine with Caitlin Bristow and called Juliana the best decision I've ever made. The pair released a joint TikTok with a Get Ready With Me for GMA theme, sponsored by a teeth whitening brand. It hit 3.1 million views in 8 hours. It felt polished, too polished, and the fans weren't buying it. "They're performing," a Reddit user posted. "No way they're this in sync this quickly. I feel like I'm watching a promo for a relationship." Even former Bachelor alums chimed in. Licia Gare, the season's runner-up and fan favorite, liked several shady tweets suggesting Grant chose Juliana because she was the safer pick PR-wise. "Juliana's easier to package," a gossip account posted. "She's brand-friendly, less controversial, and looks like what producers want in a Bachelor wife." The Instagram algorithm couple? It didn't help that Grant and Juliana's online presence has become almost identical. Their feeds mirror each other, down to the aesthetic, washed neutrals, curated date night posts, and wellness tips that feel more goop than genuine. They post each other at a rate that rivals influencer couples, and every post seems to follow a pattern: a heartfelt caption, a stunning visual, and a slew of comments from fellow Bachelor alums hyping them up. "Am I watching a relationship or an ad campaign?" one fan asked in the comments. Juliana, in particular, has been under fire for allegedly deleting negative comments and turning off comment sections on posts that hint at controversy. It raises the question, are they trying to control the narrative instead of living their reality? Podcast confessions and slips. In a recent podcast interview with Bachelor Breakdown, Grant and Juliana tried to set the record straight. "Of course we care about what people think," Juliana admitted, "but not because we want to be famous. We just want people to understand that this is real." Grant echoed her sentiment. "This love isn't just made for TV. We didn't fake anything." But not everyone was convinced, especially when Juliana accidentally let slip that they ran posts by their publicist first. Fans pounced. "You're reviewing date night photos with a publicist?" one fan asked on TikTok. "That's not love, that's strategy." It doesn't help that some of Grant's previous friends have begun to distance themselves. Tyler Cameron, for example, noticeably unfollowed him, prompting rumors of behind-the-scenes tension. Grant never addressed it, but fans read into it. He's becoming too image-focused, even for Bachelor Nation. The Licia Gare factor, fan loyalty gone rogue. One name continues to haunt Grant and Juliana's post-show fairy tale: Licia Gare, the woman many thought was the one. Licia has maintained a relatively low profile, but when she does speak, like during a recent fan Q&A, it's clear she has unresolved feelings. "I don't think he was ever going to pick me," she said. "I think he wanted to win the crowd, not me." That comment sparked a wildfire of speculation. Did Grant choose Juliana because she was easier to love publicly? Fans point out how Licia brought more emotion and rawness, while Juliana played the game with poise. One Twitter thread went viral for listing all the times Grant pivoted conversations toward image during his time with Juliana. It was always about what we'd look like together and what people would think. Never about how they actually felt, the thread read. Real love or public love? As the weeks go by, people are noticing cracks. The live TikTok that got deleted. Juliana accidentally said, "I told you we needed to post more couple content this week," sparking theories their love life was content calculated. The staged pap shots. Grant and Juliana were spotted by paparazzi at the Grove in LA, holding hands and looking lovingly into each other's eyes. But fans quickly noticed a photographer had been tagged in Juliana's follow-up story. "You're not spotted if you scheduled it," one user commented. The mismatch in tone. Juliana often uses sweet, polished language in interviews. Grant, not so much. In one sit-down, he replied to a question about babies with, "Let's see what the fans think first." Yikes. The franchise's favorite couple. Despite the speculation, ABC seems to be all in on Grant and Juliana. They're reportedly in talks for a Bachelor spin-off special, possibly even a televised wedding. "They're golden," a source told Bachelor Daily. The network loves their brand, their look, and their engagement numbers. But herein lies the problem: is the franchise feeding into a love story that exists more for optics than emotion? If love is real, why the need to shape every moment for public approval? Why the panic when a photo doesn't perform well? Why the constant need to control the narrative? The pressure of perfection. Former contestants have warned about this before. Kaylin Miller-Keys, Becca Kufrin, and even Jason Tartick have spoken about the danger of building your relationship online. "You start living for the audience, not each other," Tartick said. "You lose yourself." And that's exactly what some think is happening with Grant and Juliana. They're slowly becoming a brand, not a couple. They've launched a couples podcast. They've teased a merch line. They've already scored 3 joint sponsorships, and every move is carefully timed. It's success, yes, but is it happiness? Breaking point. Sources close to the couple say there's real tension behind the scenes. They argue about what to post, a friend claimed. They're both so concerned with staying in the public's good graces that they forget to actually communicate. Another source claimed Juliana feels pressured to be perfect, while Grant wants to dial back, but doesn't know how without making fans think they're breaking up. It's a classic influencer trap, and it's playing out on the biggest stage possible. Chad comes next. Only time will tell if Grant and Juliana can survive beyond the glare of the spotlight. Will they prioritize their real connection, or will they continue to serve content to a hungry Bachelor Nation? We're still figuring it out, Juliana said during a recent live stream. But we love each other. That's what matters. Is that true, or is it just another line carefully crafted for public approval? Either way, fans are watching, and questioning, and wondering. Are Grant Ellis and Juliana Pasquarosa too worried about the public's opinion to ever truly love each other privately? Stay tuned. Let me know if you want a follow-up story, maybe from Juliana's POV, or one where Lydia finally tells everything.